Welcome back to Cosplay Engineering. I'm Suzanne, a hobbit who cosplays, crafts, and codes. For the month of June, I've been building a gender swap Howl cosplay with a robotic calcifer. In this video, we're going to be talking about my final assembly of the calcifer prop and end the video with the grand reveal of everything put together. As you can see, my 3D model did come in. The problems that I need to work through in order to finish up my calcifer build are as follows. 1, put the eyes into place and glue the two body pieces together. 2, adding the mouth, the button, and getting all the cable plus the Arduino board into the body. 3, adding lights so that he lights up. And 4, the exterior appearance so he actually looks like a fireball versus a skull. Getting the eyes into place. Before gluing the eyes, I covered the 3D print in a base coat of yellow glass paint. Then I added screws to the cases that hold the lens and the screen in place. Finally, I glued the case to the 3D print by covering it in E6000 glue. Once that dries, I will then glue the two halves together. My glue has now dried, and as you can see, I have working eyeballs inside my 3D model. There was a little bit of gap between the 3D print and the lenses, so I used some puff paint to solve that little issue, but otherwise, problem 1 has been solved. Moving on to problem number 2, which is the mouth. In order to solve problem number 2, I'm going to glue the LED matrix into place. It and the button are attached to a proto board, which I will then run more cables back to the Arduino and the wave shield in order to power the mouth, the button, and the sound that is produced in calcifer. With the mouth now in place and the base built, that takes care of problem number 2. Moving on to problem number 3, which is adding lights into this base here. I'm taking care of the lights with just a simple LED strip of white LED lights powered by a 9-volt battery. However, these are pretty strong, bright lights, so I'm taking some nylon tulle and just wrapping it into a big ball, putting the lights inside to create a diffused warm glow inside the body. Now that all my interior problems are solved, it's time to move on to problem number 4, which is making this into a little fireball. In order to create the fire effect on the exterior, I'm going to be using lighting gels. You can draw on the lighting gels, then cut them out and use a heat gun to warp and shape them into place. I used yellow and orange gels in order to create the base on calcifer, then covered him in orange and red glass paint to get the effect that I wanted. So that's it for this week's Cosplay Engineering. This concludes my June build of my Howl cosplay. Tune in next week for the start of my July build, in which I will go into the Marvel Universe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @acraftyhobbit, and of course subscribe to this channel by clicking the icon in the corner.